Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Code with AKJ. Today is day 36 of solving LeetCode 75 challenge, and today we are going to solve another problem from binary tree DFS, that is path sum 3. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification so that you don't miss any update from this channel. So let's get started. So the problem statement says, given the root of a binary tree and an integer target sum, return the number of paths where the sum of the values along the path equals target sum. The path does not need to start or end at the root or a leaf, but it must go downwards. That is, traveling only from parent nodes to child nodes. So the problem statement says you are given the root of a binary tree and an integer target sum. You need to find the number of paths in the tree such that the sum of the nodes in that path is equals to target sum. And here path must go downwards, that is from parent to child, but they can start and end at any node, not just root or leaves. So let's understand with these two examples. So in example 1, we have a binary tree with values 10, 5, minus 3, 3, 2, null, level 3, minus 2, null, and 1. So here we have three number of paths where the sum of the nodes in the given path is equal to the target sum. Here the target sum is 8. So since we have three number of paths, so let's check those paths. So the first path here is minus 3 and level subtree. So the sum of these nodes in this given path gives the sum 8, which is equal to our target sum. The second path here is starting from node 5 ending with leaf node 1, that is 5, 2 and 1. So the sum of these three nodes gives us 8, which is equal to the target sum. So this would be one of our path. And the final path here is 5 and 3. The sum of these two nodes gives us 8, which is equals to target 8. So this path is also been considered in our problem statement. So for this given example, we have three number of paths, so we'll return 3 here. So since we have understood our problem statement, so let's begin with our brute force approach. So in our brute force approach, for each node in the tree, we'll consider it as a starting point, and from that node we try to explore all possible paths going downwards, and for each path we'll calculate the running sum and check if it equals to the target sum or not. So it's a pretty straightforward and simple brute force approach. The time complexity of this approach would be O of n square in the worst case, where n is the number of nodes. So here I have written the binary tree and the target sum 8. So according to our brute force approach, we consider each node as a starting point and will traverse through its left subtree and right subtree and check all the possible paths from that particular node, and we'll find the current sum and we'll check whether it equals target sum or not. So if it equals target sum, then we'll consider it as one of our possible path. So here I have drawn the recursive tree for each and every node. So if we start from the current node 10, which is the root, the recursive tree will something look like this. So we'll give a DFS call from the root node 10 with the current sum 0 and the target sum 8. So it will pass the call to its left subtree and right subtree. So the DFS call of 10 will give a left recursive call to 5 node, and the current sum here would be 15, adding the root value, that is 10, and the current node 5, and the target sum is 8. So at this current node we'll check the current sum with our target sum. So since 15 is not equals to 8, we'll not consider this. Same goes with minus 3. So if we consider the path from 10 to 3, the current sum would be 7 and the target sum is 8. So since they are not equal, we cannot consider this path as a possible path. Considering path 10, minus 3 and 11, the current sum would be 18 and the target sum would be 8. So we cannot consider this path as well. Same goes with 10 and 5. Since they both are not equal, we cannot consider this path. And if we consider 10, 5 and 3, the current sum would be 18 and the target sum would be 8. So we cannot consider this path. And if we consider 10, 5, 3 and 3, the current sum would be 21 and target sum would be 8. So we cannot consider this path as well. Same goes with 10, 5, 2. The current sum would be 17 and the target sum is 8. So we cannot consider this path as well. Same goes with 10, 5, 3 minus 2 and 10, 5, 2, 1. This current sum would be 16 and 18 and the target sum is 8. So we cannot consider this path as well. So from this we can say that if we consider 10 as a starting point, there is no possible path whose sum would be equal to our target sum. So we neglect 10 as a starting point. Now let's consider 5 as a starting point. So here I have drawn another recursive tree considering 5 as a starting point. Now we'll check all the possible paths from 5 and we'll calculate the current sum and we'll check with our target sum. So if we consider 5 and 3, the current sum here is 8 and the target sum here is 8. So this path is one of our possible answer, that is 5 and 3. Let's check our right recursive call. The path 5 and 2, the current sum is 7 and the target sum is 8, so we cannot consider this as a answer. So if we consider 5, 3 and 3, the current sum is 18 and target sum is 8, so we cannot consider this path. And if you consider 5, 3 and minus 2 path, the current sum is 6 and target sum is 8, so we cannot consider this path as well. And final path here is 5, 2 and 1. The current sum here would be 8 and the target sum here would be 8, so we can consider this path as one of our possible answer. So if we consider 5 as a starting point, we have two paths where the current sum is equals to the target sum, that is 5 and 3 and 5 and 2 and 1. So let's again move on to the next recursive call where we consider minus 3 as a starting point. So if we consider minus 3 as a starting point, the only possible path here is minus 3 to 11. So the current sum here would be 8 and the target sum here would be 8. This is also one of our possible answer, that is minus 3, 11. So finally in our binary tree, there are three possible paths whose current sum is equals to target sum, that is 5 and 3, 5 and 2 and 1 and minus 3 and 11. So for this example, our answer would be 3. So the time complexity of this approach would be n square, that is O of n square, where n is the number of nodes. Here for each and every node we are trying all the possible paths, giving left and right recursive calls. Hence the time complexity would be O of n square, whereas space complexity would be O of n in the worst case, that is if the binary tree is a skewed tree which has only right nodes or which has only left nodes. So for every node we are trying to traverse each and every node, so the recursive stack will store all the nodes here, which would be O of n, that is number of nodes in the binary tree. So let's quickly code this approach and let's submit. So let's declare the count variable globally, which would be initially 0. Here one of our base case will be if root is null, we'll return 0. We'll call a function traverse by sending the root and target sum, and finally we'll return the count variable, which would store the number of possible paths whose current sum is equals to the target sum. Traverse function would be void taking the root node and target sum. Here the base case would be if node is null, we'll return. We'll call the DFS function by sending node with current sum 0 and the target sum. And after calling this, we'll call the left subtree by sending nodes left and the target sum, and also sending nodes right with target sum. So let's quickly write the DFS function. DFS function would be void taking root node. So here, since the constraints are till the 10 power 9, that is node value could be 10 power 9, we'll take the long data type for the current sum so that we do not move out of the bounds of integer value, and the function also takes target sum value. So again the base case would be if node is null, we'll return. We'll calculate the current sum value by adding the node value, and we'll check if the current sum value is equals to target sum value. We'll increment our count value, and again we'll send nodes left, current sum and target sum. Same with nodes right, current sum and target sum. So in this way our DFS function works, and it calculates the current sum, and it also checks whether it is equals to the target sum or not. So if it is equal, it will increment the count variable. So after performing all these steps, our count variable would store number of possible paths, and finally we'll return our count variable. So let's quickly run this code. It's working, so let's submit. It gives successful submission, but here the time complexity is O of n square. So let's quickly try to optimize this approach. So since our brute force approach takes O of n square time complexity, which could give us time limit exceeded for large number of binary tree. So now let's quickly optimize it. So in our optimal approach, we'll use a technique which is similar to prefix sum in arrays. That is, we'll keep track of the running sum from the root to the current node. We'll use a map to store how many times each prefix sum has occurred, and for each node check if there exists a prefix sum such that current sum minus prefix sum equals to our target sum or not. So it means we found a valid path. So in this way, with the help of using a technique similar to the prefix sum in arrays, here we are trying to use the same technique in our binary tree. So for every current sum, we'll try to check in our prefix sum map, that is, if current sum minus prefix sum equals target sum, which it means we have found a valid path, and then we'll increment our count variable. So let's understand how our optimal approach works by doing a quick dry run on this example, and then we'll code this approach and submit. So in our optimal approach, since we are using map to store the prefix sum, so our first step here would be to map the current sum, that is 0 to 1. Now we'll start DFS call sending root, current sum and target sum. So initially we'll start DFS call from root 10. The current sum would be 0 and the target sum would be 8. So before storing the current sum value into our map, we'll first check whether the current sum minus target sum present in our map or not. So if it is present, then we have found a valid path. So let's start our dry run. So here the current sum is 10. Target sum is 8, which gives us 2. So since 2 is not present in our map, we'll first store our current sum in our map and then we'll move to the next iteration. So now 10 gives a call to its left child, that is 5. Now the current sum is 15 with target sum 8. So before storing it into our map, we'll first check whether the current sum, that is 15 minus 8, present in our map or not, that is 7. So since 7 is not present in our map, we'll store our current sum 15 in our map and we'll move to the next call. So 5 gives calls to 3. So here the current node is 3 and sum is 18. So first we'll check whether the current sum minus target sum present in our map or not. So the current sum is 18 and the target sum is 8, which gives us 10. So since 10 is present in our map, now we can say that there's a path whose current sum is equal to the target sum. So we have found a valid path, that is 5 to 3. And then we'll store our current sum in our map, that is 18. And we'll move to the next recursive call. So 3 gives a call to the final 3. So here the current sum is 21 and first we'll check the current sum minus target sum, that is 21 minus 8, which gives us 13. So since 13 is not present in our map, our first step here would be to store the current sum 21 in our map and we'll move to the next call. So since 3 does not have its left child and right child, we'll backtrack from this call and we'll move to this particular 3. Now here 3 will give a right call to minus 2. Here we need to notice that while backtracking, we need to remove this current sum from our map. So here the current sum was 21, so we'll remove 21 from our map. Now since 3 gives a right call to minus 2, the current sum here is 16. So before storing this 16 into our map, we'll first check the current sum minus target sum is present in our map or not, which is 8. So since 8 is not present, we'll store our current sum into our map. Now we'll move to the next call. So since minus 2 does not have its left child and right child, it will backtrack from here and we'll move to the node 3. So since 3 has done its calls, it will again backtrack to 5. So while backtracking, we'll remove its prefix sum in our map, that is we'll remove 18 and 16. So now 5 gives a right call to 2. So here the current sum is 17. So first we'll check 17 minus 8 whether it is present in our map or not, which is 9. So since 9 is not present, our first step here is to store the current sum in our map, that is 17. and we'll move to the next call. So 2 gives a right call to 1. Here the current sum is 18 and target sum is 8, which gives us 10. So since 10 is present in our map, here we have found another path whose sum is equals to the target sum, that is 5, 2 and 1. So here, after finding this path, we'll store our current sum, that is 18, in our map. So again, since 1 does not have its left child and right child for its recursive calls, it will again go back to 2 and 2 go back to 5 and 5 go back to 10. So while backtracking, we need to ensure that we need to remove the prefix sum present in our map, that is we'll remove 18, 17 and 15. So now in our map has 0 and 10. So now 10 gives a right call to minus 3. So here the current sum is 7. So before storing the current sum, we need to check the current sum minus target sum is present in our map or not. That is minus 1. Since minus 1 is not present in our map, we'll first store the current sum, that is 7, in our map. Now minus 3 gives a right call to 11. Now here the current sum is 18. So 18 minus 8, which gives us 10. So since 10 is present in our map, here we have found another path whose sum is equals to the target 8. It is minus 3 to level. And we'll store our current sum, that is 18, into our map. And since level does not have its left child and right child, it will again go to minus 3 and minus 3 go back to 10. So in this way, our iteration completes and we have found the 3 possible paths whose current sum is equals to 8, which is our target sum. So in this way, our optimal approach works. So here the time complexity would be O of n, as we are iterating over all the possible nodes in our binary tree, and the space complexity here would be O of n plus O of n. So the first O of n is for the map where we are storing prefix sum of all the possible number of nodes, and the second O of n is for the recursive stack, as we are using DFS function to explore each and every node in our binary tree. So the overall space complexity would be O of n. So let's quickly code this approach and let's submit. So let's quickly code our optimal approach. So here we'll take an ordered map of long. We'll take our count variable, which would be initially 0. So here in path sum function, our base case would be if root is null, we'll return 0. We'll first store the prefix sum of 0 to 1. We'll call the DFS function sending the root, current sum and target sum, and finally we'll return our count variable. So let's quickly write our DFS function, which would be void. It takes root node, current sum and target sum. Again the base case would be if node is null, we'll return. We'll add the current node value into our current sum variable, and we'll check in our map if the current sum minus target sum is present in our map or not, using dot find function. So if it is present, we'll increment our count variable with current sum minus target sum. After finding it and incrementing our count variable, we'll store our current sum in our prefix sum map, and we give a left call sending node left, current sum and target sum. Also calling node right, passing current sum and target sum. And while backtracking, we'll remove the current sum from our map. So let's quickly run this code. It's working. So let's submit. As you can see, it gives a successful submission as well, but here the time complexity is more optimized comparing to the brute force approach, where the time complexity was O of n square, whereas in our optimal approach the time complexity is O of n. So let's move on to our time and space complexity analysis. So in our brute force approach, since we have explored each and every node, considering each and every node as the starting point and we moved downwards, the time complexity was O of n square and space complexity was O of n. So after this particular brute force approach, we have optimized the approach by using map and prefix sum technique and optimizing our time complexity from O of n square to O of n, whereas the space complexity remains same, that is O of n. So that's it for today's video. We have learned two powerful ways to solve this path sum 3 problem. If you enjoyed this explanation, drop a comment with your thoughts or let me know which part helped you most. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more such daily LeetCode solutions. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep coding. Thank you.